Oh, hello. So, today's looking a little different. We are actually out and about, and I did plan to do this incredible live with a really beautiful lady in my community who I've really actually became really great friends with, and we actually spent last weekend together and you guys to hear. So we're hoping that Instagram will let us. Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Kalinda. So
Hello.
welcome. This is the beautiful Kalinda, and we were actually in Perth together last weekend at Freedom Day Live. I was like, I had to think about if it was last weekend because oh my gosh, it feels like a lifetime since then. And we Kalinda firstly actually ran the live event, so she just was incredible. And she also is in our online space too. And so I'm actually going to give the platform to Kalinda to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about your life and yourself before you start this business, Kalinda.
Okay, thank you, Tash. It's funny that you say I ran the event last weekend because I did, but I didn't. It was very last minute. I definitely didn't organise it. I definitely didn't plan it, but I just got thrown in the hot seat of, trying to make sure things went a bit smoother. That's the joys of the business though, isn't it? You get to kind of do a
Yes.
variety of things. Um, okay, so I don't actually know where to start, to be honest. I'm 30, I'm single, I don't have children, I don't have family. Yes, so you and I were a little bit different in that aspect, but we actually met in Japan.
We
And,
did. We did.
and,
Yes.
that's when we first met. And so I'm someone that loves traveling. So I've been in the business approaching 3 years. I think start January will be 3 years. I'm going to try and keep this short. Backstory, my mum's been in the business for nearly 8 years. So I watched mum. I was using the products, but I watched mum for a while, like 5 years before joining, because I thought it was a scam. And I had seen my mum struggle in like low ticket stuff my whole life pretty much. And I was like, oh, another one of those things. So I eventually came around to, the water machine and the product and stuff like that. And then I gradually started like listening to what mum was doing. So I obviously we went into those pandemic lockdowns, and
Yes. Fun.
throughout that period I was slyly looking for something else to do because I'm a massage therapist. I work for myself, so I was affected in that. All of us were, but I was, shut down, in and out of lockdowns, all that kind of stuff. So I was quietly looking for other things to do, completely ignoring what mum was doing. And then the other things just never worked out. And then I ended up having to have a hip surgery. So that was in 2022, September 2022.
Yeah.
And during
Wow.
that time, I was out of work, like off work for 4 weeks. But I went to work in that fifth week still on crutches. So I should have had 5 weeks off. But, money, I lost a lot of money during that time period. But during that time, I actually was listening in on mum, watching the trainings in the background because that's where I was recovering. And I was listening to like sales calls, so talking to a bunch of different people. So in that period, I was learning about it. But again, I didn't join until like the January. So 4 months later is when I joined. Um, and I did that because I still massage. I've still got my massage business. I've cut down a lot on my massage business. But you don't get paid when you don't work. So you work
That's
for
exactly
yourself, you
right.
don't get paid. And that's actually really hard. That was the time where I realized how hard it was. Um, because even though like I was shut down in lockdowns, it was like a different mentality because it was like, well, no one's doing anything, like I'm not missing out on anything. So it didn't matter.
I remember. I
Yeah.
remember doing like some of my teaching through like Zoom. It was so surreal through that
So,
time.
so silly. And like, I know as well, people somehow manage to get money off people for massaging online. And I'm like,
Wow.
you can't
What?
do that. Like, you can't.
That's
Like,
a scam. That's a scam.
absolutely. I was going to say that, but I was like, I'm not going to.
No, that's a scam.
Because like, even like, obviously everything like turned to telehealth and stuff like that. How do you turn a physical treatment into telehealth? Like even osteos and, um, what they call physiotherapists and stuff were like putting themselves online, and I'm like, you're not touching someone, you're not actually giving them treatment, you're just giving them exercises, whatever. That's a whole different story. But when I
Yeah.
had the hip done, I was like, I need to do something else. So I did still look into other things like drop shipping and all the stuff. And I was like, no, this isn't for me. So
Can I ask,
I,
when you finally joined, what did your mum say
um,
after 4 months of listening?
I don't know, like she just knew that it would probably happen because in that time period too, I was becoming a lot more natural. So I used to work in pharmacy. Now I've always,
Yeah.
I'll be careful what I say, but I've always questioned a lot of stuff that is produced within that industry, different medicines and stuff like that. I've always questioned it. So even working in the pharmacy, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is what you need for whatever sickness you have. I'm not touching that. Like I would sell it to people and then be like, you take it. I'm not doing that. I would also get the opportunity to receive free things from the government um, through here, and I would be like, no thanks. And all the girls that I worked with all knew that like I wouldn't accept those free things. So I was always like that, but I was not actually very natural in my life. So during that period, I did start to become more natural. So mum just kind of knew that it was like it was bound to happen. She
Yeah.
just didn't want to like rush me into it.
That's beautiful.
And
Yeah.
she never like told me about it. And you know, there was even times randomly throughout the years she's been doing it where I'd have to drive to Melbourne because mum would have to be on a call, like a team training or something like that in the car, and I would be like listening to people talking and yeah, I don't know, I was just around it for so long. And then as well, mum and I like different similar mentalities, similar personalities, so she just kind of knew. And then I guess she was like happy about it because she ranked up, and like when she first went 6A, she got awarded. I think maybe it was in Vegas, maybe.
It was, yeah, it was in
Yeah,
Vegas. I
and
remember, yeah, and like, yes, yeah, I've heard her story so many times.
yeah, and like she didn't have anyone there to, you know, support her in it, and so now it's kind of like, well, we're going to these things. We are doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I went to Perth because Mum was speaking on the panel. Like, so for her, it's really nice that she's got like a sounding board. She's got someone that understands it because for so long, like none of us understood it. So yeah,
Yes,
she really likes
yes,
that.
yeah,
But
I
yeah, so
love
anyway,
that.
I've gone on a massive tangent all over the place. But basically, I started because I wanted to travel more. I absolutely love travel, and the whole thing of working for myself, not getting paid when I don't work as well was
Yeah,
a massive
absolutely.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that for you. So, you kind of touched on your like line in the sand moment of, you were recovering from a hip surgery. Was that really your line in the sand moment, or was there something that you wanted to kind of add to that in the moment of like going like, this is it. I'm jumping in, I'm going all in with mum, and I'm doing it. Like it's just well, yeah. Could you go into that a little bit if you
Yeah.
hadn't? Yeah.
So I think the hip definitely was something where I was like, I can't keep doing massage forever. So
Yeah.
I definitely had the mentality. I will say as well, I was an art student at school, very arty, crafty. If you could see behind me, I've got like Christmas stuff that I'm working on, like creative stuff. I've got sewing stuff. I've got like coloring in stuff. I've got painting stuff all around me,
I
right?
think we are the same person. Because I literally for like in school I did an art major, so I'm like I love this, yeah, and I'm coloring in. I've got like the art. So this is a total
Yeah.
tangent. So whoever's listening, I'm sorry, but we will come back to the interview. I totally have on the what do you call it? Doing the what is it? The stuff that the putty art, is it called
Oh,
putty
yeah,
art?
yeah, yeah.
It's so much fun. You've got to try it anyway.
No, I don't need to try it. I don't need to try it because in the other room I've got like a whole cricket machine. I've got like
Same.
I've got what else is it? I make like Christmas baubles.
I love
I've
this.
literally everything and anything. I even created a coloring book because I'm also like a big Harry Styles fan, One Direction fan. So I've created a Harry Styles coloring in book, but that's a whole different thing.
I actually love you. You are so.
I'm
How
a
did you
manager
just
as
come up with
well.
that?
I'm a manager, so I just like have all these ideas like for me and for everyone else. And anyway, it's great, but also distracting at times. but yeah, so for me, like in school, I was very art focused and I could never see myself doing like anything medical. And then I go and I do, oh, not medical, science based. And then I find an interest in medical and then I go and do like my massage stuff. And then I got to a point where I was like, I said to Mum, I'm like, I don't know what else I would ever do. Like this is obviously previously, this is prior probably to even COVID and then the start of COVID. And so I genuinely was like, I have no idea how to do it. And like my brain just works in this way that like I connect dots and stuff like that. And so then, yeah, as time went on and I was wiped out with my hip surgery, I also I've got like I'm a mess kind of, but I'm not a mess.
No.
I've got hypermobility as well. So like your thumbs are not supposed to look like that. So like they, do weird things. So I've also learnt as well.
I love you. How does that just randomly come into the conversation?
I don't know. So no, I'm getting to it.
For anyone who's
like
laughing,
the most chaotic one you've done, surely.
No, I'm just loving this because Annie's I'm hoping that people are laughing on the other end. So if you're laughing, please pop it in the chat.
So
I'm just at a shopping centre.
So like what I'm getting to is I had a realization that with my hip and then all my other things that I couldn't just do massage. Like I was not going to be able to do this through till retirement.
Yeah.
And I needed to have something else come in. So yes, like the hip is part of the line in the sand moment. Jeez, I got that messed up, didn't I? But then also the aspect of me wanting to travel more too. Like I want
absolutely the freedom. Yeah.
And then for me, more so being a massage therapist and having my massage business, it keeps me in one location, and I don't love where I live. So I want to be able to like move away and, travel, and like, even if it's just like a home base, like I go away for a few months and come back, that's fine. But like,
yeah,
I realized, and the hip was probably the start of it, that I needed to add something else in. And if I still want to, while I still enjoy massaging, I can keep doing it. And then I have more time to do all my hobbies.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And that is like so powerful because it is about creating a life that you love waking up to every single day, right? Like it's not just about, this online community. It's an incredible community and it's an incredible business opportunity, but it's actually about creating a life that you literally just don't even need a holiday. Like you are the walking holiday. Maybe that's the theme of today's chat.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is, what are the changes and impacts since you started in this online business in your life? Like, what would be your biggest achievement as well?
So I guess probably a lot of it is just growth and building confidence. Having the confidence to put myself out there, and you just waved at me. I was like, what is that? Am I disconnecting? No, you waved at me. Yeah, so having like the ability to be way more confident, because I wouldn't have done this. Yeah. I was an extremely, extremely horrendously shy child, horrendously shy. So, and no one ever believes that. So no one...
I know, I was like, you were saying it just then, and I was like, Kalinda? Shy? Really?
Yeah, no, like could not make my own friends, couldn't speak to anyone, like would do everything with mum, hardly even like communicated with my dad as a kid, like so horrendously shy. It was just, anyway, so I have been able to grow with this as well, and then being like finding more of who I am, and then being around people that don't care about who I am as such, like, they don't take offense to me being me, because you grow up with the same people, and when you start to change, which is realistically me just becoming more comfortable and confident in who I am, they don't like that. Whereas I've been able to put myself around people that are either very similar to me, or we can have like similar interests in things that we then click on, and it's like, okay, well, I don't care what you think of me. Like, I'm just way more confident with it. And yeah, it's like that whole personal growth side of things. And then being able to step more into who I am. I love educating. I used to think I wanted to be a teacher, and then I realized how not so fun it would be. How not so fun it would be.
It's fun.
Being in school your whole life. I'm like, so no, I got rid of that idea in year 10. I went to do work experience at a school, and I was like, not for me, no. So, but in that, I naturally love teaching people. I love helping people. I love educating people, even when it comes to
Empowering them.
massaging. Yeah, I love like teaching people about their bodies and all that kind of stuff. And now I get to do it online. I get to educate people like through content. I get to, help people come into the business and then educate them through how to use social media and how to make money online and like all these different things. So it's like it just more and more as every day goes along. It's like I become more of myself to help other people to become more of themselves. I don't know, it's just so cool. Like you gain so much more than what you think you're going to gain by joining.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. I'm actually going to tell a story right now about last weekend with you and I. We were having a big dance on the stage, and you and I just started fully just like unleashing together. And I love that, like that in those moments, what I want to share is that in this community, it's about like what you said, just being able to really raise each other to our most authentic, unapologetic selves. And so, yeah, what I want to say is I loved what you said, because being accepted and not actually caring whether you're accepted or not is actually two different things, but it's a very beautiful combination that happens in our community. That also leads my last question is, what would you say to yourself, past self, who was sitting on the fence wanting to start listening to your mum? I love that. I love that she also let that journey unfold for you, because I did the same for my mum to just let that gracefully happen. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. And let you have the self-discovery. So back to the question though, that was me changing. What would you say to your past self just starting out sitting on the fence? Or what would you say to someone sitting on the fence? I totally mumbled that question. What would you say to someone sitting on the fence or your past self who is just starting out? What piece of advice would you give yourself or
her? So I always revert back to like asking questions, because like I said, like I'm a skeptic. You could call me, a truth seeker. I don't know how you want to call it, conspiracy theorist, whatever you want to do. But just in regards to everything, like I'm always like ask questions. So for me, it was this big skeptic thing, but it was a fear of what I guess had experienced from mum, not firsthand, and not saying at all that she was involved in any scams previously, but like when she was in the low ticket stuff for 26 odd years, she, again, most of my childhood, like I was one of those poster childs, and I would walk around wearing a badge on me, and like, because it's what we had to do back then. And not that the company was bad, company's very successful, the products were good, but she just never made any money. So then I was like, well, I had all this skepticism because of that. So I don't think skepticism is bad, but don't listen to other people and experience it for yourself as well. So I don't know exactly what I would say, because I'm not mad about the way that I went through the process of it, because I guess you could say that I was young as well, and I had to like experience it. So anyone else that's sitting on the fence, I always say ask questions. Like
Amen.
You can never ask too many questions, you can never ask the wrong questions, but if you don't, you will never find out any answer.
Yeah, what you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, and you just sit there and you go blindly around, believing whatever other people are saying or whatever you think, is true, when you need to find your own truth within it.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's actually a really fierce thing, because really it's about using our God-given asset, curiosity, and just diving in and exploring, because it's not for everyone. But how do you know it's not for you if you don't even like ask the questions? So exactly. Yeah, I love that. Is there any other gold nuggets and value that you want to share before we kind of say cheerio?
I mean, I could talk for hours, so
I know, I love that.
Probably don't need to do that. No, I just think do it. Like, even if it's just, you've got the business aspect, you've got the health aspect, just do it. Just look into it. Whoever you are, it isn't for everyone. You're exactly right in saying that, the business side of it, but it is for everyone in regards to health and well-being and community and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know, just do it. Just ask questions.
Yeah, Perfect. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Kalinda. I love it. And thanks for all that watch.
Yeah.
If
Thank
you are
you.
wanting to learn more, reach out, send us a DM, reach out to Kalinda or myself, and just ask the questions. That's all it starts. It's just a simple conversation, asking a couple questions, and I hope you have a fantastic Sunday. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.